Hello and welcome to Rotten Reviews, and today the movie that I'm going to be reviewing is not a movie at all, but is actually a request that was put in by patron Jaki, who wanted me to take a look at the Battlegrounds episode of the limited miniseries run Nightmares and Dreamscapes from the stories of Stephen King. And as far as why, Jaki says, I don't believe many people have watched this anthology miniseries, and Battleground starring William Hurt was my favorite episode. Want to give the amazing William Hurt a good send-off. Rest in peace. Now for me, as far as all the short story compilation books that Stephen King has released, I do think that Nightmares and Dreamscapes is one of my favorites. So I was quite pleased to see a while back that this miniseries existed. Unfortunately, it really did just last one season, only 8 episodes airing on TNT. It's now available on DVD, but for the most part, that was it. This was put out and ended in 2006, and for the life of me, I haven't been able to find out if that was a purposeful thing from the start, only do one season and wrap it up, or if it was canceled before it really had time to find legs. Either way, there were some stories that I did love in this that didn't make it into the cut, so it was a little bit disappointing. I was happy to see the miniseries. Little disappointed that some of my favorite stories weren't included in there. But his short story of Battleground can be found in the book Night Shift, and it was actually the first episode of this miniseries here. So as Jaki explained, this is starring William Hurt as the principal main character, who stars as a hitman as he basically undergoes a job. He executes the head of a toy making company and then goes home. Job done. Time to relax and see what next job is on the docket. Unfortunately, things start kind of going haywire for him when he receives a mysterious package of a box of toy soldiers. And as you might expect, his apartment turns into a battleground. Now, this is a fairly standard horror convention where we have somebody that does something bad in the beginning and then through supernatural and oftentimes somewhat ironic means finds himself in a position of getting his comeuppance. I think the hook with this one is this episode was entirely without dialogue. All we really have in this are the sound effects, grunts, screams, things like that. Not a word spoken. And I think because of that, William Hurt had a hell of a job in front of him, and I think that he pulled it off remarkably well. There was a lot that was conveyed and communicated to the audience without actually having any dialogue. And that's not nothing. That's actually something that's somewhat remarkable. It's a difficult thing to, use nothing but body language in the situations at hand, especially when the situations are so damn ludicrous. But there was still a whole lot being conveyed through body language, through facial tics and so forth, both in the Battlegrounds portion of the episode with the toy soldiers, as well as preceding that, taking on the assassination job and just how much of a cool cucumber he was. Another thing that I found kind of remarkable about this episode is just how far they took it. When you think of things like toy soldiers attacking a, normal-sized human, it's easy to envision somebody just kind of getting plinked with some plastic bullets and, whatever. But no, this went hard. This was like actual ammunition, actual missiles. It was really, really extreme stuff as he really got injured and his apartment suffered greatly. So just based on the chaotic violence aspect of this alone, I thought it was worth a watch and fairly well done. There's also the fact that there were elements of this that weren't entirely surprising, but the actual details and the nuance and the situations of them were quite blindsiding and all very joyous in their own right. I mean, in the end, we are talking about a 2006 miniseries episode. It's not going to be cinematic gold. It's not going to have the highest production value, but just on an entertainment level, which was pretty much the level that this episode was trying to attain, I thought it worked remarkably well. I found myself extremely entertained by this one, and I was just smiling ear to ear from start to finish. Now, before I wrap up this review, I do want to just make a quick little recommendation for Jaki or whomever else might be watching this, is the notion of having a dialogueless episode within a miniseries is it's not done very often, but it has been done before, and in that, I do want to make a recommendation. It's a completely different tone and vibe and story than Battleground, but it does have that dialogueless hook in it, and I do want to recommend Season 1, Episode 2 of Inside Number 9. The episode's titled A Quiet Night In. Check it out. You'll thank me. It's a hoot and a half. And so thank you to Jaki for recommending the Battlegrounds episode from Nightmares and Dreamscapes from the stories of Stephen King. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like and subscribe. And if you want to support me further, please consider joining my Patreon. Link is below. We have watch parties, Discord benefits, weekly vlogs, and all sorts of stuff starting at only $1 a month. So that should about wrap this one up. Thank you so much again. Take care of yourselves. And remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.